Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Yeah, nice. And Shabbat Shalom if you're joining us from home or from wherever you are. We turn to page 121 and 120, and Jackie and Barb are going to come and light the candle. I just want to say, there's a lot of the English that I like in this Siddur. But this paragraph that we read about the Shabbat candles and how they are a reflection of us, that just as they give light, so may we give light. I have to say, that really touches me every time we say it. It's really insightful, and it's just one of my favorites. So I'll highlight it as we say it tonight. Go ahead.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvoto v'tzivanu lahaglit ner shel Shabbat. Blessed art thou, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvah, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. Le'ad ligner, shel Shabbat. All right, let's sing a little bit. Page 132 at the bottom. 132 at the bottom. Adonai, ve'hodu lezecher 135. Also at the bottom of the paragraph. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'itzachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'itzachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'itzachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'itzachavu lehar kodsho. Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ya la la, 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 la la la. La la la, la la la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, louder, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la. One 138. Lecha dodi לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, תשמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. lecha dodi לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, 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 כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלי נגלה. lecha דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום, עטרת פעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי קלה, בואי קלה, lecha דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. lecha דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. You can be seated. 141 in the middle of the page. Kodesh Adonai leorech yamim. 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashalem, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu mi leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. 144, we stand for Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitgadash shemei Rabba, ve'alma divrach chirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'b'yomeichon, u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, bagala, ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יש שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לעולמי עולמיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתבר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו ליהלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, זמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. Good. So before we begin the Mariv service formally, set your book down for a moment. You can sit if you want to, or stay standing if you want. So relax your shoulders, but keep your back nice and straight, and chest and chin up high. Take just a few relaxed breaths. Turn your attention to all the sounds around you. Maybe you can hear the sound of the fan and the air in the background. The sound of someone near you. Allow yourself to be more aware of the environment around you. How does it feel? And as you become more aware with the environment around you, become one and at harmony with the environment around you. You are part of that, and as a part of it, turn your attention to your own body and how you feel. Your contact with the floor and the seat, your own breathing and heart rate. And then bring your attention to your thoughts. And do your best to quiet your mind and your thoughts. But whatever thoughts come and go from your mind, just accept them as they are and be not only in harmony with the world around you, with your own body, but with your own thoughts as well. As you settle in and relax, try to bring your attention to your own feelings and emotions. Try not to set too strong a definition for them, but just to allow your emotions to be aware of how you feel. And add your emotions to the part of the world which you are in harmony with, your mind and your thoughts, your body, the world around you. And then finally, settle deeper in and turn your attention to that truest part of who you are, that deepest, most essential part, the part that is goodness and light and life affirming. And allow that part of you, your truest, innermost self, to rise to the foreground and to occupy your emotions and thoughts, to sustain you in your body and to be with you in the world around you. If you can, please stand on page 146. Let's sing together. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Together the English on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. And back up in the Hebrew, about 6 lines from the bottom, together, Umavir. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uben laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Varavim. Again, in the middle of 150 in English, everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Kihem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu. ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. 152, please stand. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad again. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You can be seated. On 154, let's read the Hebrew together. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. 158. כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר הקודש, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר הקודש, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות. מי כמוך, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות. מי כמוך, מי כמוך, מי כמוך, מי כמוך. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Let's go to 160 and sing this Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzveteinu uvoeinu lechaim ushalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzveteinu uvoeinu shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Good, let's turn to page 164 and we stand as we prepare for the tefillah. Page 164. Adonai. Yai lai 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 fatai tikah. Yai lai 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 ufi yagi. Ufi yagi tehilatecha. Yai lai 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 Adonai. Yai lai 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 fatai tikah. Yai lai 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 ufi yagi. Ufi yagi tehilatecha. 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד האתר, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה מהכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. 170. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We continue quietly on the following pages, beginning on 172, or with your own quiet meditations, and rejoin at the bottom of page 180.
shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'meromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru amen.
Good, you can be seated if you'd like. Page 371. We turn our attention to those in need of healing, healing of body and spirit. We offer a prayer for all of those who are in need of healing, calling to mind people by name. When I pause, we'll have time for you to add some names. Page 371. Misha berach avotenu v'imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, Yivarech, v'Yirapeh et kol hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless all those who are ill, including
Linda and Stephen Ely, Robert Whitlock, Tuli Vintner, Mila Binstock, Shelley Perkle, Heather Murray, Robert Whitlock, Barbara Whitlock, Jackie Freeman, Don Freeman, Terry Hurst, Daniel Brito.
Mike Ross, Michelle Roth, Dennis Sadler, Shelley Storch, Lisa Ancast.
Patty Beeman, Carol and Powell Hassel, Diana Swiger.
Rita Crone, Ann Olin, Susie Irish, Susan Eilers, Ron Robinson, Larry and Jeff Crone, Phyllis Falk, Felicia Morris Friedman, Shannon Davis, Susie Horowitz, Heather Murray, and Ronnie Eggers.
Tanya Hurst, Diana Berger, Nick Strumpus, Heather Murray, Fisher Mitchell, Shelley Perkle.
Joseph Reed.
Emo St. Germain, Louise St. Germain, Paul Feynman, and Jim Thorne.
Susie Horowitz, Keith Hood, Angela Burdett.
May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and we all say, Amen. May the source of strength, who blessed to walk before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Shabbos. really nice to be together. It's been a couple weeks, so it feels good to be here and to be amongst friends. I want to speak about the Parsha this week, which is Parshat Korach. It describes a pivotal event in the life of the Israelites in the desert. At a crucial moment during this fragile time, a particular leader of the community, Korach, he was not a nobody or out of left field person. He was what we would call connected. He was a Levite. And so he was already part of a unique and kind of elite crowd. Korach leads what's usually called a rebellion against Moses. Really what it is, it's sort of more of a protest almost, more than a rebellion. But Korach claims that Moses is hoarding authority for himself. That's the long and short of it. If you want to study more about this, you have to come tomorrow morning when we'll delve a little deeper into the Parsha. See how I did that? That's pretty good, right? Yeah, that's good. That's the essential motivation, is that Korach believes that what is honestly a very reasonable idea when you think about it. He believes in what we would call democracy, right? A spreading out of authority amongst many people. And he probably was a little less democratic than I am. But that's essentially what it's saying, is that you do not have exclusive rights to leadership. Now, I want to say right away, like, one way we could respond to this is we could say, Korach was horrible. It's very easy to demonize him. After all, he's going against God and Moses. Can't be good. If you ever read the Bible, you know that's not good. That's the losing team. But we could say Korach is an evil, wicked, rebellious person. And in a certain way, that's true. After all, he's been there since the Exodus. He's seen what's happened. He's not way on the outskirts of the camp where maybe he doesn't know what's really going on and he's just along for the ride. He's a descendant of one of Aaron's sons. He's got yichus. He has a seat at the table. Does he not know what Moses has been going through? Was he not there for the golden calf? Did he not watch all the miracles and wonders in Egypt? Did he not see the smoke and lightning on the top of Mount Sinai? Right? See, so that's actually a reasonable position to say, this guy was bad news, and his motivations were bad. And maybe it's true, and in a certain way, we can't really know. Korach is one of those stories that I think of as a mirror. It's a Rorschach test. How people respond to this and what they feel about it is like a good way to, gauge yourself. Who am I in terms of this story? Because it's very easy, in fact, also to side with Korach. After all, Moses, is the anointed by God, but he's not the only guy. And he's proven that he doesn't always do it right. He disappears for 40 days. He smashes the commandments. He's going to eventually, not yet, he hasn't done it, but he's going to hit the rock. The guy's got an attitude. I say that, because it has effect, but I don't want to be too disrespectful or anything. But Korach, it's also understandable to kind of side with him. He's the person who questions authority. I don't know about you, but that's an appealing idea to me. Authority deserves to be questioned, my own included. Yeah, that's right. If you have any authority, the whole democratic principle, of course, is that we have the right of redress, that we can, complain. And that there is a way to complain and to seek that redress. So in some ways, I want to side with Korach. Like some ways I think, he's kind of like a this. See, like my Rorschach test is so crazy, man. If you gave me Rorschach, it'd be horrible. So, but I don't want to fall into those two easy positions. The way I see it, Korach is really meant to be you and me. I'm supposed to put myself in that position. And sometimes when you put yourself into the story like this, and you play act, as it were, you realize that you're not the good guy. Not every person who's described in the Bible is the good guy. And Korach is not the good guy. Do you know how we know? We know because the earth opens up and it swallows him up. And everyone who followed him. See, because he had followers. Once he started saying something, people were like, hey, Korach, he's got authority. I'm going to follow him. And not only did he lead himself astray, but he led others astray. Many others. A plague afflicted the camp. And a giant chasm opened in the earth, and Korach and all of his people were dealt with. Let there be no doubt is the final message of this story. Let there be no doubt who the leader of the desert generation is. It's Moses. Wow. It's a very difficult story. And it begs the following question. What exactly did Korach do that was worthy of a supernatural intervention of plague-sized proportion? There's, as you might well imagine, there's a long history of rabbinic discourse on that exact topic. What exactly was his rebellion about? What exactly did he say to Moses? Because the story leaves just enough room that we can interject our own thing. Was he reasonable in what he was saying, or was he kind of a jerk? Right? And that kind of hinges how we're going to see him in the story. What exactly did he do? Because the truth is, either of these positions is plausible. But here's how I'm genuinely unsatisfied by most of those comments from the tradition. Because it still seems really bad. Like, I've had people complain to me. You've probably had people complain to you about something you did for them. And maybe you thought, well, gee, they could do it better. But you didn't think, I will swallow them whole in the ground, right? I mean, it wasn't that big a deal. Like, if they said it the wrong way, if they acted like, nobody ever had somebody act like a jerk with them? Of course we have. Like, if you live long enough, that happens. And long enough is usually like in a third grade. So it's not that he was pedantic or that he was uppity, Korach. That's not it. It has to be something deeper. And I see Korach as part of a chain of stories. The golden calf. A couple weeks back when we read about the complaining about food and the plague of the quails, which also seems very strong. Each of those incidents also, the people were afflicted by a plague, and something supernatural came down and punished them. This is part of an arc of stories that reminds us of the reason why Korach is dealt with so harshly. What Korach doesn't realize as he stages his own rebellion is that there is already a revolution underway. The desert experience is revolutionary. The liberation from Egypt is what's happening here. And Korach has such a personal vision and limited scope that he does not realize what is going on around him, the big picture of what's going on around him. And all he can see is Moses has and I don't. He doesn't realize that Moses doesn't have. Moses is conscripted by God to lead a vital and crucial revolution in human history, the birth of the Jewish people. And you, Korach, are saying, wait, stop, I have my concerns. He stages a rebellion against Moses because he does not realize that Moses himself is part of a rebellion against the mindset of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, which says that people are not free. I'm always struck every year at this Parsha by how relevant and timely it is. It's essentially a story of politics and of human interest. And those are always relevant and timely stories. And it's true still. Korach is a story that reminds us that there will always be people whose self-interest narrows their vision, whose narrow vision leads them to forget what is most important and what is really going on, and the more important priorities of the entire community. And once they do that, once they forget those things, they will act almost exclusively in their own self-interest. I am not proposing a giant chasm in the earth to swallow such people alive, because the truth is, as I said before, we are Korach. It's a story about us. We all have this tendency. We all do it. Guilty. We all do it in some measure. It's not about pointing fingers. That's the whole point. It's not about whose team you're on, which group you're in, who's got and who doesn't have. All of those dynamics which are clearly operating in our own culture right here and right now, and even we are participating in them. All of those things lead us to turn our attention from what is more important. And it is still the message of the liberation from Egypt. That the purpose of human beings is to be free. Turns out a lot of people in their own self-interest work pretty darn hard to make sure that we forget that. So let us not forget it. Our mission is to remember that God's purpose for us and our community is that we work hard to expand the liberation of Egypt to include all of those who are narrowed in any way. Shabbat Shalom. Todah. Thank you. Let's finish up with Aleinu and the Mourner's Kaddish. We turn to page 586. Can I have somebody to open the ark? Thank you, Avi. We stand for Aleinu, page 586. Aleinu leshaveach ladon hakol, latet gdula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kgoyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu
הקדוש ברוך הוא. $5.90 at the bottom. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד. ושמו אחד. You can be seated. Page 598. This week we mark yahrzeit for Al Fine, Sanford Falbaum, Leon Berlin, Saul Vittner, Marvin Frank, Ethel Rubin, Rose Falbaum, Norman Etheridge, Celia Greenberg Rushin, Dave Yarborough, and Lillian Altschuler. We continue to mark the yahrzeit for those who passed in the last year: Curtis Young, Dave Bogart, Roland Jolin, Mark Commissaro, Janice Teplitz, and Rabbi Rob Kersner. Anybody here observing yahrzeit tonight who wants to share a little something about the person they're here to remember, Barb? Anybody else? Tenishmato tzura b'tzura chayim. May his soul be bound up in the bond of life. May his memories be a blessing. Mourners and others who stand for the Mourners Kaddish, page 598. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah ve'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei בחיי חון וביומי חון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimeru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Shabbat shalom again, everybody. Just a couple of announcements. First, I want to wish happy birthday this week to Cindy Rushin and Ronnie Zell. If you see them, please wish them a happy birthday. Also, if you please, one of the benefits of coming in person is you get to stay for the oneg. You probably have your own oneg at home and all that stuff, but it's not the same. There's like people here, they're schmoozing oneg. So please come for Shabbat. In person if you can. We're also happy to have you join us remotely. But we have an oneg tonight in memory of Dave Yarborough. And we want to thank, thanks to Barb and to Jackie for helping to set that up. Looking forward to hearing some more stories. Any other announcements?
Yeah, please continue to read your TBD emails for announcements and event details. It's the best and only way we have to communicate with people, so please When you see one, just read it.
Okay. Please join us for the Oneg and Kiddush. Shabbat Shalom.